understandable English podcast.
Learn English the easy way.
My hands were literally shaking when I looked at my phone screen this morning, Jessica. I made a huge mistake in my family group chat, and I am pretty sure my entire family thinks I have completely lost my mind.
Oh no, Brian, what did you do this time? Did you send another weird meme to your grandmother by accident?
I wish it was just a meme. I meant to text my personal shopping list to myself, but I accidentally pasted it into my serious family group chat where my parents and cousins talk about family dinners. So right in the middle of a serious conversation about my cousin's wedding, my message popped up saying toilet paper, extra dark chocolate, and lots of cheap cheese.
That is hilarious, Brian. A message about toilet paper and lots of cheap cheese is actually very relatable. Did anyone reply, or did they just ignore it?
That was the absolute worst part. Nobody said anything for 5 whole minutes, but I could see those tiny dancing typing dots appear and disappear at the top of the screen. Those typing dots are pure psychological horror. So because I panicked, I typed 3 massive paragraphs over explaining why I needed cheap cheese and apologizing for distracting everyone.
Brian, you turned a simple, harmless grocery list into a dramatic, emotional confession. You always feel like you have to over-explain every tiny situation. Welcome to the Understandable English podcast, everyone, where Brian turns tiny everyday mistakes into massive dramatic stories while you listen along.
Hey, whether you are listening while doing dishes at home or walking your dog, welcome. And if you have ever sent a private message into the wrong group chat by mistake, tell us in the YouTube comments right now. Writing your story in the comments is a great way to practice your English writing skills, and it makes me feel less alone in my daily digital chaos.
I think a lot of our listeners can relate to that sudden feeling of panic. But honestly, 3 paragraphs about cheese in a wedding chat is peak Brian behavior. Why did you feel the need to bring it up in 3 long paragraphs instead of just typing, "Oops, wrong chat"?
Because when I see that my message was read by 12 family members and nobody replies, my brain immediately panics. I feel like I am standing on a stage in front of a giant audience in a huge room, and everyone is staring at me in total silence. I feel like I need to explain myself immediately so nobody thinks I'm weird.
You treat every single group chat message like a formal public speaking event. But group chats are not speeches, Brian. Most people are just scrolling through their phones while waiting in line at the supermarket or watching television. They are not judging you as deeply as you think they are.
Easy for you to say. You live in a completely different digital universe, Jessica. You treat group chats like background noise that you can just ignore whenever you want. Tell our listeners how you deal with notifications, because it honestly sounds like magic to me.
It is very simple. I mute every single group chat the exact second I am added to it. Family chats, work chats, friend groups, birthday planning chats, they are all muted permanently. I turn off all sound notifications, all vibration alerts, and all banner pop-ups on my phone.
Permanently muted? That sounds so cold and heartless. How do you even know if something important is happening in your life? What if there is an emergency or an urgent announcement?
If there is a real emergency, people will make a direct phone call to me. Otherwise, I check my group chats exactly once a day, usually around 12 o'clock at noon. I call that my daily social digestion time. I read the messages, send a quick reply if necessary, and then I close the application and go back to my real life.
Social digestion time. That sounds like a medical routine for processing digital gossip. If I tried doing that, I would have 200 unread messages waiting for me every single day. My brain cannot handle seeing those bright red notification badges with big numbers on my screen. I have to click them immediately.
And that is exactly why you are constantly stressed out by your phone. You let every random text message interrupt your thoughts, your work, and your peace of mind. You treat every message like an urgent task that requires your immediate attention.
Because of seen receipts. Seen receipts are the absolute worst invention in human history. When someone sends a message and I open it, the chat shows them that I have seen it. If I do not reply within 30 seconds, I feel like a terrible friend who is intentionally ignoring them.
That is another thing I disabled months ago. I turned off read receipts on my messaging apps. When people leave someone on read, it can create so much unnecessary anxiety for both sides. Removing read receipts was the best decision I ever made for my daily peace of mind.
I hate when someone leaves me on read. Last week, I sent a photo of a funny-looking cloud to my friend group chat. I saw that 3 people read it immediately, but nobody replied with even a single emoji. I spent the next 2 hours wondering if they hated the photo or if they were secretly talking about me in a private chat without me.
Brian, they were probably just busy working or eating lunch. Not every message needs a response. Sometimes people just look at a photo, smile to themselves for 1 second, and continue with their day. It does not mean they dislike you.
It turns out that my friend was actually at the dentist getting a tooth pulled. He texted me 4 hours later saying, "Sorry, I was at the dentist." But during those 4 hours, my brain created 10 different tragic scenarios about how our friendship was falling apart over a cloud photo.
That reminds me of another personal story from last year. I was added to a massive work group chat with 50 colleagues for a temporary weekend project. Once the project finished on Sunday evening, people started sending thank you messages. 50 people, Brian. My phone was buzzing every 2 seconds with thank you, great job, thanks everyone.
Oh, the endless cycle of courtesy texts. That is another classic group chat trap. If 49 people say thank you, you end up feeling forced to be the 50th person to say thank you, or else you look like a rude, anti-social robot.
Exactly. But instead of joining the madness, I decided to quietly leave the group chat. And within 5 minutes, 3 different colleagues sent me private messages asking if I was okay or if I was mad at the team.
Leaving a group chat is a high-risk operation. The chat literally displays a bold message in the middle of the screen saying Brian left the group. It feels like slamming a heavy wooden door during a quiet dinner party and walking out into the night.
It really does. People assume that leaving a chat means you are angry, when in reality you just want to clean up your digital space. We have created a culture where staying connected all the time is expected, even when it makes us feel completely overwhelmed.
I had a similar experience last month with my neighborhood group chat. Someone posted a picture of a lost brown cat, and I wanted to help. So I replied that I saw a similar cat near the bakery 2 days ago. But it turned out the photo was 3 years old and the cat was safe at home.
So you gave everyone in your neighborhood old, irrelevant information about a cat that was safe at home?
Yes. And then 5 different neighbors started arguing about local bakery hours and pet rules. My phone kept buzzing for 3 hours because of a cat that was sleeping comfortably on a sofa the entire time. I felt so guilty for starting that whole chaotic chain reaction.
That is such a perfect example of how modern group chats work. One small misunderstanding or one accidental click can quickly turn into hours of unnecessary digital noise for dozens of people.
It really makes you stop and think about how much mental energy we waste on these digital spaces every single day. We spend so much time worrying about what strangers or distant acquaintances think about our text messages.
That brings us to a much deeper point about our daily modern habits. Group chats are wonderful tools for staying in touch with friends and family, but they also create a subtle, constant level of emotional pressure.
It feels like we are always available to everyone, 24 hours a day. In the old days, if someone wanted to talk to you, they had to call your house landline phone or visit your home. If you were not there, you were simply not available and nobody thought it was rude.
Now, because our smartphones are always in our pockets, people expect instant answers. If you do not reply within a few minutes, there is this weird expectation that you have to explain why you were slow to respond.
That constant availability breaks our attention into tiny little pieces throughout the day. You are trying to read a book, study English, or focus on work, but every time your phone lights up, your focus gets shattered.
It creates what psychologists call brain fragmentation. You are never fully present in what you are doing in the physical world because a part of your brain is always waiting for the next digital message.
So how do we protect our focus and our peace of mind without feeling like we are pushing our friends away or being mean?
It comes down to setting clear, healthy boundaries for yourself, recognizing that taking care of your mental focus is not selfish. It is actually essential for your well-being and happiness.
That makes total sense to me. When you give yourself permission to put your phone in another room or turn on Do Not Disturb mode, you are actually choosing to be present in your real life.
And real friends will always understand that. If someone truly cares about you, they will not get angry just because you took a few hours to reply to a casual text message.
That is such a comforting thought. If you are enjoying this conversation today and finding it helpful for your English journey, please hit the like button and subscribe to the Understandable English podcast. Leaving a quick like takes 1 second and helps our channel reach more learners.
It really does, and we appreciate every single one of you who supports our show. Now, let us move on to our vocabulary tour for today's episode, where we take a closer look at 6 natural, highly useful English expressions that we used earlier in our conversation.
I love this section. These are expressions that native speakers use every day in real, natural conversations, so learning them will make your English sound much more fluent and natural.
Our first phrase today is end up. Simple meaning, to reach a particular situation, result, or place, often unexpectedly or without planning it beforehand. Example sentence: we planned to go for a quick walk in the park, but we ended up staying there for 3 hours talking.
Our second phrase is bring something up. Simple meaning, to mention a topic or start talking about a subject during a conversation. Example sentence: my sister brought up our holiday plans during dinner, so we spent the evening looking at plane tickets online.
The third phrase on our list is deal with. Simple meaning, to handle, manage, or take action to solve a difficult situation, task, or problem. Example sentence: learning how to deal with workplace stress in a healthy way is very important for your long-term health.
Our fourth expression is turn out. Simple meaning, to develop, happen, or prove to be true in a specific way, especially when the final result is surprising or unexpected. Example sentence: I was worried that the English exam would be extremely difficult, but it turned out to be much easier than I expected.
The fifth phrase is make sense. Simple meaning, to be clear, logical, reasonable, or easy to understand. Example sentence: her explanation of the new grammar rule made total sense to everyone in the classroom.
And our sixth phrase is leave someone on read. Simple meaning, to open and read someone's text message without sending a reply back to them. Example sentence: it can feel a bit frustrating when you send a quick question to a friend and they leave you on read for hours.
Those 6 phrases are so common and practical in everyday spoken English. Pick your favorite phrase from today's tour and write your own original practice sentence in the comments below. We love reading your sentences and seeing your progress.
Writing practice sentences in the comments is truly one of the best ways to move vocabulary from your passive memory into your active speaking vocabulary.
Well, Brian, I think it is time for us to wrap up today's conversation. I hope your family group chat has calmed down after your dramatic grocery list over explanation.
It actually has. My mom texted me earlier saying she bought extra cheese for me anyway, so everything worked out fine in the end.
That is so sweet of her. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Understandable English podcast, everyone. Take time to step away from your group chats today, enjoy your real surroundings, and keep practicing your English in a relaxed way.
Have a wonderful, peaceful, and low-stress day, everyone. We will talk to you again in our next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care.
I tried to deal with my crazy family chat, but I ended up bringing something up about cheap cheese, and when they left me on red, it turned out that my 3-paragraph apology did not even make sense.
Brian, I am muting you in real life for the rest of the day. Bye.